The other way. Thanks. Subscapularis. This is an internal rotator, so here's what we're going to do. Externally rotate. There's no limitation in his subscap. This is full range of motion. This is exactly what we want. If you wanted to apply more of a stretch, what you could do is just stabilize here and gently lift up here. Feel the stretch? You should, if you do it correctly, you should hear that sound. Okay. Next, infraspinatus.
Yes.
Infraspinatus. Look, so now same starting position, but now we're going to internally rotate. Here, there's a little more limitation. Any pain?
Not pain, but like I feel so.
Feel it tight?
Yeah.
Okay, so here, what I would do is in this position, this is a great way to go from assessment right into treatment. So here, just holding this position with a fascial stretch, holding this in a supported, so here I'm supporting underneath, it's not going to be too much, and I just hold. The other thing you can do is you could go right into your PNF stretches. So from here, I could say, so for example, if he's having trouble internally rotating, what's usually tight? The external rotators. So here, I can go, hold that, don't let me move you. So now there's an isometric contraction of the external rotators, okay? Hold that for 15 seconds, then I go take a deep breath, breathe out, and look, like already, it's almost where we want it to be. Then you could go back, hold that, don't let me move you. Again, so he's contracting the external rotators. Okay, take a deep breath. Breathe out. Yeah. Good. So this stretch, though, infraspinatus. Watch. Can you sit up? Hold their arm. Bring the arm behind the back. Teres minor. So this is not as restricted. So it's infraspinatus that's more restricted. If that's something that comes up when you're comparing the two, I would immediately come out and start to palpate. Tender? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's infraspinatus. A little locked up there. Mm. Again, you go right into treatment. You can continue your assessment. You can have, in your office, you'll have keep a whole bag full of tennis balls, put them right down on a tennis ball, let the weight of their body reduce some of the tension in that muscle. You continue to do assessment.
Oh, okay. Let's work for you.
Teres minor.
I just did it.
All right. Supraspinatus.
Supraspinatus. Supraspinatus would be really, in essence, just passive adduction, right? Okay.
Pectoralis major, sternal and clavicular fibers.
Okay, pec major. So when we stretch the clavicular fibers, we go off as if they're making a T. Mm-hmm. Remember, so clavicular has a V, so stretch it in the shape of a T. If sternal fibers are going to be stretched, shape it in the shape of a V. Very good.
T
So,
is T and T is V.
Exactly. But now I wanted to show this first before I do it. Is this where I want you to stretch it? No, because look at what's going to happen. I'm going to push down. It's not going to affect his shoulder, but it will extend his elbow. So do not do that. Slide over. Okay, great. So here, now I can get the stretch affecting the muscle, but there's no pressure on the elbow. Okay? So in this position, that would be the clavicular fibers. The sternal fibers, I stretch like a V. Okay? Feel the difference? Mm-hmm. All right.
Pec minor.
So for pec minor, again, what you can do is just slide this way. You can take the arm, and you can have them move towards the edge of the table, and you can press down, right? So I'm actually pushing the scapula into a retracted position. But more than that, I'm really pressing into the attachment, the coracoid process, to create a stretch. It's not like you can just, we can't just pull their shoulder back and isolate this muscle. There's many other muscles involved. So For this stretch, I really like to get right into the attachment site and just lean in with pressure.
Biceps and triceps brachii.
Okay, can you sit in the chair? Okay, so the stretch for biceps, you need to pronate, extend the elbow, extend, and keep the scapula depressed. This is the stretch for biceps brachii. The stretch for triceps, look at what I'm going to do. I'm going to flex the shoulder first. I'm holding at the wrist, I'm holding at the elbow, and I'm flexing about as much as I can go till I feel some resistance. Then I say, is the stretch okay? And now I can start flexing the shoulder. The elbow. So very gentle pressure. If you apply too much overpressure on the forearm, you can hyperflex the elbow and cause an injury. So don't do that. Next.
Pronator teres.
Okay, so for pronator teres, you can do this across a desk. What I'm going to do is extend the elbow, grab, supinate the forearm. Okay? You can also do this standing. You can also do this with them laying on their back, as long as you have the elbow extended and you're using the correct movement for the stretch. Okay? For pronator quadratus, I bend the elbow. Bend the elbow, supinate. Okay?
Quadratus? You already did quadratus?
Yep.
Supinator.
For supinator, now, for supinator, I can keep the elbow extended or flexed, and then I'm going to fully pronate. Okay? If I keep this extended when I pronate, it's going to make biceps a little tighter, so sometimes if I want to isolate, I'll flex it. If I flex the elbow, I've slackened biceps, and now you feel how there's more movement. So now I'm focusing on supinator.
Extensor digitorum.
Extensor digitorum. So extensor digitorum is going to extend the wrist, mips, pips, dips of the four lateral, right? So this one, when we want to stretch, I'm going to flex, roll, flex. So all of them are flexing, and also this is such a great, really, really important stretch for massage therapists.
Extensor carpi radialis.
Extensor carpi radialis longus. What do we need to do? Elbow extended. Good. Extensor carpi radialis longus tells us exactly what we want to do. So in order to stretch it, we're going to reverse those actions. So we're going to flex, and we're going to ulnar deviate. So here I can hold, flex, ulnar deviate. That's the stretch for extensor carpi radialis longus. For brevis, again, I can flex.
And ulnaris.
Extensor carpi ulnaris. Here the elbow can be flexed. I flex the wrist, and now I radially deviate.
Flexor carpi radialis and ulnaris.
Flexor carpi radialis and ulnaris, we are going to extend the wrist. Ulnar deviate, so which one am I stretching? Radialis. And if I radially deviate, it's flexor carpi ulnaris. Okay?
It's the opposite.
With the RIT, lumbar thoracic spine, flexion extension.
Okay, can you sit with your legs over the edge? Yeah. All right, so flexion of the lumbar spine. What I like to do is just ask them to cross their arms. Right? Is it okay if I move you? So here, I'm just going to create some flexion. And now I'm going to say, hold that position. Don't let me move you. And now I'm pushing up. I'm pushing like up and over, so they have to contract and hold and flex so that they hold that position.